Good day, we are Group 20 and our group consists of Carmen Lee, Sydney Chong, Goh Wei Shen, Samantha Cho, Vanessa William and Teo Shu Kang. We have chosen the topic Solving Environmental Challenges, investigating the roles of scientists in addressing environmental issues such as climate change, pollution and conservation efforts. The title of our video will be Beyond the Brink of Biodiversity's Dying Whisper.
The Earth is a vast and magnificent symphony of life, where every species, big and small, plays a unique role. Lately, this symphony is facing a growing threat, biodiversity loss. It's not just about losing species, it's about losing the harmony that sustains life on our planet. That is why our group will be introducing the critical issue that affects each and every one of us, the loss of biodiversity. But more than just highlighting the problem, we are here to shed light on the vital role scientists play in addressing and overcoming the challenge.
The first objective of this project is to spread awareness regarding the rising issue of biodiversity loss. The second objective is to educate more on the roles of scientists in the global community in order to overcome and repress the issue.
Did you know Earth is currently in a state of 6 mass extinction? The scientists has predicted that the species are disappearing at 1,000 times accelerated pace compared to a rate of disappearance without human influence.
There are various kinds of drivers of biodiversity loss. One of the biggest drivers of biodiversity loss is the usage of land and sea, which leads to change of natural habitat. From the chart, we can deduce that habitat change is the most significant drivers of biodiversity loss across biomes, followed by overexploitation, nitrogen and phosphorus population, and lastly, climate change. There are 3 aspects that drive the conversion of nature into land for agriculture purpose, which is global population growth, pressure for increased food and food production. The high demand of meat have caused increase in development of arable land. GoBio have predicted that meat demand will increase in 15% for BRIC countries in 2030. As a result, there will be an additional deforested area of 16.5 million hectares compared to the baseline, leading to various species to be extinct. Moreover, infrastructure development decreases the amount of natural habitat. It will disturb the ecosystem through noise and toxin coming from infrastructure construction. Associated features such as road features create barriers for animals as their habitat have become inaccessible, leading to isolation. Based on the research by GoBio, additional land use change in Latin American and Caribbean is 0.8 million hectares more deforested area compared to the baseline in 2020. Thus, infrastructure development have driven biodiversity loss. Biodiversity loss have caused human health to decline as the development and discovery of new medicines and therapy are halted. It will affect traditional and modern medical treatments as the research from WHO conclude that 11% from 252 selected essential chemicals are from plants and 8.7% are from animals. The unsustainable rates of exploitation of wild source ingredients will extinct certain species, causing inability to produce medicines. As a result, humans' life is at risk. Next, food security. According to FAO, 75% of world's food is generated from 12 plants and 5 animal species. So, over-reliance on a small number of crops and species will cause the food supply to be more vulnerable to pests, disease, and climate change. Thus, global food security is affected as the livestock breeds and crop diversity are endangered.
The first method that scientists address the biodiversity loss is through genetic engineering, which is called the extinction. It can create a new version of previously lost species. It is possible with modern technology. Now, we take woolly mammoth as an example. First, we have to collect elephant DNA by using DNA extraction. The genome is then sequenced. Next, we have to collect a woolly mammoth tissue sample and insert the critical factor of mammoth genome into elephant genome. Then, the scientists will identify the important traits such as resistance to the cold in the elephant. The following step is to build an insertion of CRISPR libraries that hold mammoth DNA into elephant genome. The cold resistance trait has to be verified on the hybrid cell to determine the functional activities of target trait. Lastly, the hybrid nucleus will be inserted into the nucleus of elephant egg The implantation will take place after the growth. These are all the steps of the extinction. This is a video about the interview of colossal co-founder and professionals about the de-extinction of woolly mammoth.
The second way for scientists to address biodiversity loss is by developing conservation strategy. Biodiversity conservation is also known as the protection and the management of biodiversity in developing sustainable development of resources. The objective for biodiversity conservation is to preserve species diversity and to ensure sustainable management of the ecosystem. There are two methods that can be carried out to conserve the biodiversity, which is the in situ conservation and the ex situ conservation. In situ conservation refers to the preservation and protection of the species in their natural habitat. It means to conserve the genetic resources in the natural population of animal and plant. The advantages of in situ conservation is it preserves the species and their natural habitat. Not only that, it also ensures protection to a large number of population. Other than that, it is also the most economical and convenient method of conservation. Lastly, it doesn't require the species to adapt to a new habitat. Ex situ conservation means the conservation of life outside their natural habitat. The competition in artificial ecosystem for food, water, and space among organisms is low. Hence, those organisms can acquire all needs easily. Ex situ conservation provides essential life-sustaining conditions that is under human control. It also promotes artificial breeding method that leads to successful breeding and creating more offspring of the species.
Next is the third way, which is advocacy for sustainable practice. Scientists are focusing on sustainable agriculture and fishery management to balance the human needs with environmental conservation. Diversifying crop types and forest species foster resilient ecosystem, promoting biodiversity. Besides, long-term marine ecosystem management is crucial for addressing ocean acidification. While the advantages of sustainable farming cover all three aspects of sustainability, which are economy that leads to cost saving, social benefits that prioritize fairness and social equity. Lastly, of course, the ecological benefits which promote biodiversity. Sustainable fishing is crucial to protect marine life, addressing threats like overfishing and bycatch through stock size restrictions. Minimization of environmental impacts can be achieved by diminishing the amount of waste, chemicals, and energy produced by fishing operations. Besides, species and habitats can be protected, avoiding having a harmful influence on fish species.
One of the ways for scientists to save the biodiversity, which is engagement in education and public awareness. Public awareness is crucial for biodiversity conservation initiatives. Scientists have developed various strategies to promote appreciation, education, and awareness of biodiversity. Firstly, understanding the audience is a way to identify specific diverse groups in society. Conduct surveys and studies to find out about people's present biodiversity-related knowledge, attitudes, and behaviors. Besides, customized awareness programs can raise public awareness. It makes use of a variety of platforms, including interactive exhibits, documentaries, social media, workshops, and lectures. Next, UNESCO is leading the global education for sustainable development agenda, enhancing biodiversity education, training teachers, and creating resources for biosphere reserve, World Heritage Sites, and UNESCO Global Jobs Park to achieve sustainable and equitable biodiversity use. Other than that, prove the evidence of positive public response is significant to increase awareness too. Public concern and awareness survey conducted by the Biodiversity Project indicate a high level of public concern for the loss of species and environmental degradation. About a sense of responsibility and support for conservation measures, conservation policies, such as the Federal Endangered Species Act, are widely supported. As a conclusion, each and every one of us, especially scientists, play a pivotal role in the collective effort to protect and prevent the loss of biodiversity. Their expertise, research, and innovative approaches contribute significantly to conserving the Mother Earth. The preservation of biodiversity is an investment in the future which creates a commitment to the well-being of current and future generations.